All right, guys. I'm continuing our conversation today with Brian Lindsey from Internacola Law Firm, and we are kind of talking about how we break down the FDD. I think in my simple terms, I tell people lay it out like dinner. You have appetizers, your meat and potatoes, your vegetables, your dessert, and then the after dinner drinks. And we're at the vegetables, so we're at items 8 through 18. And I kind of was joking with Brian. I'm like, I don't know that I actually have read every word of 8 to 18. So Brian, you tell us why I should be. What's important in there?
All right. Yeah, you definitely need your vegetables.
Okay.
Right? Vegetables are important. The 8 through 18, those are more, we kind of passed the financial portions of it for the most part, right?
Yep.
When 5, 6, 7. Now we're getting into more of the legal obligations. So it's, things like what does a franchisee have to do? What are their obligations? What are the franchisor's obligations? And you're dealing with things like intellectual property. Are the trademarks protected? Are they registered with the United States Patent and Trademark Office? Okay. Are there any important patents or copyrights that they have?
Okay.
And that we want to make sure are protected, right? So it's kind of more of the legal, obligations, more so than the financial. It kind of turns into legal, and I think it's really important to understand, but it kind of leaves the financial until 19 kind of gets out of the financial portion of it.
Something that would be in there that you would look at to be, I'm going to say a red flag, like when people are looking for it, if you see something is there something in 8 to 18 that could, you know what I mean? Be just like, wow, this makes this system a little either more vulnerable or, is that why you're reading it?
Yeah, so a good example would be item 12, which is the territory.
Okay.
So we want to have, we want to see what what territory is included. Is it exclusive? Is it not exclusive? Most territory language in there there are some.
Yes, explain this. I get this question a lot. Good. Go.
Yeah. So a lot of times there's exclusions in a territory, in item 12 territory. So the reason that those would be things like non-traditional locations. And what I mean by that is if you have a restaurant brand and there's an airport in your territory, in your protected territory, what the franchise agreement typically says is that the franchisor is allowed to put a location in an airport because it's not a traditional territory. Okay. And if you think about it, it kind of makes sense because no one's really going to go to the airport to get a donut and leave the airport. So it's a captive market, and there's some
protected territory and exclusive territory. Is that where that question comes from?
Yeah. So a lot of the states that require registration, they'll say, well, it's not exclusive. It's protected, but it's not exclusive 100%. And most territories aren't. You're not going to see too many that are exclusive and there's no carve-outs. There's nothing that it's 100% exclusive, because you have those situations. They don't come up that often, and usually it's not doesn't hurt the franchisee. But there are situations, and another example is if the franchisor wants to buy a competing a competitor, and which happens once in a while, doesn't happen that often, but if you have a maid cleaning service that wants to buy out another maid cleaning service, and there happens to be a territory, one of the competing franchisee in your territory, they say, well, that's something that's not going to be included. That's not exclusive. We can do that. And the reason why a franchisor would want that, and it's unlikely that it's going to happen, it's not something that happens too often, but the reason why a franchisor would need that is because they don't want the franchisee to say, you have to stop the whole transaction because I have I have a competitor in my territory. Okay. So they don't ever want to be held hostage, in a sense, by a franchisee. So a lot of those things are included in there, but for the most part, 99% of the time, they're going to give you a protected territory. They can't put another franchisee in your territory, and that's what it says. And then they kind of give the exclusions. So that's really important to understand going in.
Very good. And that is the reason why you don't ask Lisa to go through the FDD with you. I don't want to do that. Call the franchise attorneys. They know what they're looking for.
I appreciate it. Thanks, Lisa.